What's up, guys? Ronin Man here. So today I want to talk about pandemic relationships, and there's a lot of people writing about it, and it's an interesting topic actually. And like people were writing, I think in the beginning a lot of people got divorced and a lot of people broke up, and then at the same time I know for sure a lot of couples got closer. And there's a thing, I just read something called turbo relationships, which is basically the concept was, it was in Yahoo News or something. And it was interesting. They said basically what it was is, and this is a well-known phenomena, under stress, let's say wartime, pandemic, Great Depression, people tend to come closer. So, people help each other out. I guess milestones go faster than usual, so things just move along. So, for example, the people that don't break up, the ones that get together, they get like more together because it's like there's a reason, there's like need, And I personally think this is one of the driving reasons why relationships succeeded in the past, is because there was a need in let's say the wagon wheel days. You needed somebody to go outside and you needed somebody inside, and that was it. There was you could not have nobody watching the kids, and you could not have somebody not out doing the outside stuff, and whoever did it, whatever, but you needed to have two people doing things, otherwise it just didn't work, right? The thing didn't work. And a lot of relationships today, we don't have that need. Women don't need men for money, and so they can get their own job, and that has destroyed a lot of what we thought was typical relationships, but it actually was a need. It was a need, right? And I think it was similar for myself, like growing up poor. We didn't have stuff. So me and my brother and sister, we just had to make stuff happen. Like we weren't going to get things. So we had to kind of be creative, right? It was out of necessity, right? So necessity is the mother of invention, right? So you would say, well, pandemic relationships sound great. And I'm not saying they're not. I'm just saying, like, I'm going to break down some very heavy concepts that will help you to understand the whole situation better. Because even if you're in a turbo relationship, let's say you're like on this girl and you guys are really tight, and I know everybody supposedly is MGTOW, but I know for a fact a lot of guys are in relationships too, and they're lying their ass off, right? So there's that too. So, or they've been in one before and they're just trying to understand more about life, because even if you never want to be in a relationship, you still want to understand relationships. Because your parents, your friends, your best friend, your boss, it all is influence. So with that kind of introduction, I'll just go into it. So it's true. Right now, pandemic, people are getting closer. So a lot of relationships are getting closer. But I want to take this from a man's perspective, not from a woman's. So I'll start with the women's perspective. What does a woman want in a relationship? She doesn't just want sex, right? She wants, we all know the typical things, right? The ring, living together, babies. Not every woman wants this, and I understand there's going to be people saying, hey, I don't want that. And it's true. There are different kinds of people. But generally, we see this as a common trend. Women want to go fast, right? They want to, like, when are you going to propose, right? If you don't propose in a certain period of time, if you don't take her out to a nice dinner in a certain period of time, if you're like too slow on the trigger, she's going to lose interest in you and say, I'm moving on to better pastures, right? So in the turbo relationship, think about this, right? Things are moving fast, right? So as they move fast, you as a man, it's kind of fun, right? It's like high pressure, right? It's like you and her against the world. It's the Bonnie and Clyde thing, right? You're like, you and me, we're going to do it. And then like you see her cooking and you're like cutting vegetables and you're like trying to figure out the money situation. You're like, I figured out a tax break. I did this. And there's a lot of enjoyment in that, right? It's the same thing as kind of what we do on tour, is we're problem solving all the time, and it has very concrete, real, meaningful results. If somebody comes up with a good plan, it really affects the whole week, right? It's like, that was awesome. Like, that was super smart, right? So there's like enjoyment to not only the coming together and making plans, but there's also enjoyment to the fruits of that, right? So in the relationship, when you like, two heads are better than one, right? One person's figuring out the tax situation, the other person's figuring out there's some kind of, something's closed, something's open, here's the solution. So that all is good. But in the end, it all ends, okay? every trend, every period of life, the bubble days in Japan, the internet bubble in America, the settlers in America, every single music trend, every single thing ends. And there was a great TV show. It was really like, I highly recommend if you have, I'm not sure if it's Netflix or Hulu or whatever it's on, but it's the Twilight Zone. It's an episode called On Thursday We Leave for Home. And it's such a great episode. And it really like nails this idea, or part of the idea I'm going to talk about. So what it is these guys, they crash landed on this like planet, and they can't get back to Earth because they lost, they can't get back. So they're all lost, and they're fighting each other and blah blah. And there's one leader, and he's like, "Don't do it." And the guy's good. He's a good leader. He's like excellent, because people are dying in the sun. People are like it's really dangerous situation. And he steps up, and he's like, "We need to get together. Don't fight. You guys do this. You do this." And he like arranges everything, manages everything, and then they have this like thriving community on this other planet. And so it's like everybody's laughing around the campfire. And this is like a pandemic, right? It's like, like there's certain people that step up in a pandemic. There's certain people that come through in these situations, and there's certain dynamics that some people really enjoy, right? The problem is, okay, so in the end of the show, which is really great, they get this message from a spaceship. Like, it's like they still have something working, and it's like beep, 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 beep. They're like, we know where you are. We're coming to get you. So the people are like super excited, but the leader doesn't really understand it. He's just like sitting there, and he's like, oh, like no one's going to go back. I mean, what we have here is so good. Like we have like everything you always wanted. We have like people are working together. People are helping each other. There's love here. There's support. Like we're not going to go back. He's thinking, right? And so then when he realizes that they're all going to go back, then he's like, well, we'll get one piece of land, like in Nevada or something, we'll all be together, we'll do this. And then he finds out like everybody has their own places they want to go to, which is just totally separate. Like this was fun for them, but it's over now, right? It's done. And then at the end, they all go into the ship, and they can't believe this guy. He's like, I'm not going to go on. Like, come on, guys, don't go on. And then they're like, dude, like we're going to die here. Like we have to go, And then they said, look, we're leaving in like whatever 30 seconds. So like just get on, or we have to leave you. We can't wait any longer. And so then the guy's like outside, and then the thing finally takes off, and he's alone on the planet, and he like changes his mind. He runs after, and it's too late, And I think that's a lot of lessons for the pandemic there too, is if you fall for this as a man, you're going to be that guy on the planet. You're going to be that guy, the last guy on the planet, like, don't go. It's like, an airplane just flew right overhead. That's awesome, yeah. Yeah, so close. Go. Yeah, don't go, come back. Oh, I hear you said. That's good. Yeah, please stop, just jump a ladder down. So, it's like, so the thing is that there's a lot of traps for men, because in the end, all the advice on the internet is basically for women. And they're talking about relationships, but everything I read was from a woman's perspective. Even though guys answered the thing, in the end, how happy the woman is what makes the relationship good. So guys will answer in a way that they're happy. Like, they're like, the woman's happy, everything's happy. If the woman's fucking the guy, everything's fine. You know what I mean? Like the relationship's fine, basically, And then as soon as it stops, everything falls apart, right? So the guy's like, she's happy, everything's good, it's all good, we're having fun. We're not going to these steak dinners anymore, but we're doing stuff together. This is good. And she's like, hey, things are moving along. And she really believes, when she's on that planet, she believes this is it. Like, this is great. Like, this is what she knows, that this is partly what she's made for. Is like a man and a woman together, you and me against the fucking world. There's something very natural about that. Something very 1 + 1 = 5. There's something about that that's just amazing, especially when it comes to children. This natural, the natural law of life. But the problem is that guys also are emotional, living in the moment and not seeing the long ball. Now, the long ball is not so pretty. And it goes to one of my basic philosophies, which is, I realized one day that you can choose like how you want to be in life. Like, you can be the guy that everybody comes to when they're depressed, or you can be the guy that everybody comes to when they want to have fun. So there's two types of people, basically. Now, of course, you can do both, and I'm not saying it's black and white, but this mindset will help you. Is in the end, I want to be the one that people come to when they want to have fun. Because what happens is when you're the guy people come to when they're depressed, like let's say your friend loses a bunch of money in the stock market, and so he comes to you and he's like, crying, he's sad, he's like, I don't know what I'm going to do, and you're like, hey man, it's going to be okay, I'm not saying, okay, really hear this one out, because obviously supporting your friends is probably one of the most important things you can do, your friends and family in times of need. But be careful. Realize that you are choosing, right? I really want to enjoy my life, and I know that a lot of the good stuff in life happens when people want to have fun. Like a lot of the good stuff, most of the good stuff. And if you find yourself being just the guy people come to when they're depressed, people won't really appreciate it. Like they'll be like, see, it's just fucking human nature. Is let's say you help somebody out, and I've done this many times. I'm sure you have too. You got a friend, right? He's all hurt and he's like, everything's down. He's like, I had a friend who was literally going to kill himself the day that I helped him. Literally. This is like literally. He had a gun. His wife was in jail. Things sucked. And he was going to kill himself that day. And I was there for him. And he told me later, he said, look, you actually stopped me from killing myself that day. Because I helped him move, and it's a long story. I don't want to tell too many details because this is a real story. So, and it's a very sensitive topic. You know, this guy's succeeding very big time now. But he never really appreciated that day, I got to tell you, from my perspective. Because I was really the only one there for him. And I knew it was tough. Like it's a complicated story, right? It was tough for me too. I was on vacation. I gave up a lot. And it was not very fun. And, But I think the human mind is kind of like, once you get through something, you're through it and you forget. Like, if it was me and if I was going to kill myself and somebody helped me, I would fucking tell people forever, even if it was really embarrassing, because I just feel like that's so important that somebody's there for you. And that it needs to be said that is the type of person they are at the core. Is that they're there for you. That's the kind of friend they are. And also to admit that you have weakness, right? I think a lot of guys, when they're really weak, they don't want to admit it. So when you're that guy who's always there for them at that weak moment, they almost don't want to be around you in a way, because it reminds them of how low they were. Like you could really embarrass them with a story of how bad it was, right? And so I'm not saying don't be there for them. I mean, I am the kind of guy, I cannot stop myself. I will be there for that guy. And I just am that way. And I've been there for many guys. And it's just my nature. But I also know that it's not a glory position, because a lot of people actually, you're there at their weakest, downest, baddest, most embarrassing, like most wrong moment of life, right? And most people can't really, they don't have the balls to really face up to the fact that they are a normal, weak human being that, has bad moments. It's like, they feel like that's going to make them look bad. They'd rather be in their nice car and like looking good, nice restaurant in the corner with the steak and the wife happy and the kids and everything's loud. Now they're on top of the world, right? So beware. I think that in this case, okay, now that I think about it, there's different things to think about. I did that for myself. I helped him for myself because that's the way I am. And I will always be that way. But I also know that when you help somebody at that level, at that moment, a lot of times it ruins a friendship in a way. Because it's like, there's something very deep that goes on. And then, of course, there are other people who just are like, awesome. Like, I have another friend in Toronto, Jeff, and he calls me every year. He's like, every year on the same day he calls me, he's like, you saved my life. And like every year, I'm like, I didn't. He's like, yes, you did. Shut the fuck up. And he's like, thank you. He calls me every year. And that guy he's one of the kindest people I've ever met, but he never forgets, because this happened like 30 years ago. And I think that he's very rare. Most people, they just don't have the bandwidth to deal with their own problems and to deal with how much they need other people, how much other people need them, how much they're not doing everything in their life. I don't know what it is. It's probably a lot of things. But anyway, let's go back to pandemic, because it's very related. it's in these times these are the times, right? These are the times, right? In life. Now, obviously, there's worse times like wartime and things like that. But now think of the future. I'm not saying, okay, you could take this many ways. You could say, Ronin's right. It is something really enjoyable about being in that lockdown with a girl, and you guys are like two against the world, but it's temporary. If you know that, then it's okay. Because I think there is enjoyment in that time. But you got to know it's going to end, because what happens is she puts you in that category. She puts you in that category of the people who, it's like, you know what I mean? Like you're making a leather belt together, kind of. You know, you're just like, you're digging a hole and you're making a garden and like that. But then when she feels good again, when things open up again, almost everybody all of a sudden changes. You know, like now they want to, like the people on that island, you can't blame them on that planet for wanting to go back to their own life, you know? And so it's kind of a lot of guys, they want to control women, you know? And that's a lot of frustration that men have, is that women don't do what they want. They blame it on women, but actually they're trying to control them, right? I don't try to control women. I always say, hey, like, it's fine. If a woman meets another guy, I'm like, you should totally go with that guy. And I'm serious. Like, I'll look at the guy and I'll say, that guy's a good guy, you know? I don't know if I told the story, but basically Bill Murray tried to fuck my girlfriend and take her back to Hollywood. And I said, you should totally go with him. I said, you should go with him. He's a great guy. So you love movies. You love Hollywood. He's like got money. This guy's the real deal. You know, they were making Lost in Translation in Tokyo, right? And I said, you should totally go with the guy. Like, that would be a good life for you. I know you, and that would be a good life. I would be sad, but that would be good. I think you should go with Bill. You know, we could meet up later or whatever, you know. And then, like, I've always liked that because I'm always ready to let go. But most guys don't do that. So you go through the time, you have a relationship, you want to continue. Now she comes out of it. What happens? Her mind totally changes. And probably yours will too, but especially girls. Because now they'll be like, all of a sudden, the last thing they want to be is in the house. The last thing they want to do is dig a garden with you. Like make a leather belt. Like now, they might want to try a new French cafe, right? They might want to try some new, you know, they have like special cups or something that they're interested in seeing, you know. And they might want to talk to somebody who's a musician, you know, who like, you know, plays the bongos or something, you know. They might want to, you know, like go to Burning Man or like wear that hippie dress, or they might have like something very light and fun that they just want to do, and that's their nature. Like women are like that. They're like a flame, right? We're like cold, dark space, right? In a way, we're like death, and they're like a flame flickering, right? That's really the energy of a woman. It's like it really is that flickering, like it's short. It's like it's not like a blowtorch. It's like just a little flicker, a flame, you know, and it's short, right? Women are basically in their prime, very short period of time, right? And it's just like flickering in the wind, and wind can blow it out, and like they're just like out there, and they're very open. They're just kind of like, oh, let's try that. I think that's the way they evolved. Is part of their deal in a partnership is kind of being more flexible with going with the man. Like the man's like the ship going across the ocean, and they decide, okay, we're going on this Mormon ship, we're going on this businessman ship, we're going on this adventure ship, whatever the ship is. They make a decision, and they kind of somewhat conform to the man has his goal, right? And I think that is kind of the natural nature of women. Now, of course, we all have multiple skills, and some people lean more towards one way or the other. There's even gay guys listening to the channel who would very much be on that flicker side, right? It's possible. A man could be that way. But in general, I would say definitely women are on that side. And so in their nature is to kind of, to find, you know, they just want to like have fun basically, and they're flickering around. And then they see a guy that makes it, and they decide, this is it. I'm going to get on this ship. I'm going to go this direction with this guy. And then when they do, they suddenly change. And you could call it chameleon, but it's kind of the good side of a chameleon. It's like whenever a girl was with me, I noticed that they just changed. Like next thing I know, they want to go to the beach, and they want to just, like I have girls I broke up with decades ago, and I'll look and I'll see their Facebook, and they'll be doing exactly what we used to do together. Like I changed them. They'll be eating vegetables on the beach, like things that Japanese girls would never do, you know. And I'm like, no way, that I really had an influence on that girl, you know. So it's not necessarily temporary. Because sometimes they temporarily change. Like you might move to a new city and then you find you like the city better, right? Sometimes girls are like that too. They'll find a certain type of guy and they'll be with him and they'll be like, this is the way to live. And they'll just be like that, even though they don't want the guy anymore. They'll just kind of shift over to that. I've seen that too. So it's not necessarily fake. It's more like they're trying on a new jacket when they meet you, right? They're just trying on a new jacket. And if it fits, they just wear it. It's not necessarily you. It's like your lifestyle, your personality, your way of thinking. They're trying that on, right? This is cool. We're like right underneath the airport. So with pandemic relationships, I think the problem is that guys really like being that guy who was the manager on that planet. You know, guys are like, this is it. Working together, solving problems, you know, and then when it ends, he's like on the planet alone, right? You know, so I think that this is a very risky thing, because if you look at everything that happens in a pandemic relationship, what happens? No secrets, right? You can hear them farting. You can, they can no longer bullshit you. You guys are locked down. You know exactly the way they're living, right? And what they think, what they say to their friends, you know, they leave their face. You're going to find out a lot of stuff that you wouldn't usually find out, right? And also, what was it? Lost my train of thought there. What was I saying?
No hiding.
Yeah, there's no hiding, right? So the goals of the woman are all being reached. So women like to not hide. See, women like to know more about you. They're studying you, right? They want to figure you out. Now, once they figure you out, that's another thing. But women have this deep desire to really know what drives this man, you know, totally. Because one of the fundamental survival skills of a woman is to be able to, they can't not do this. They have to know everything about you. They have to, for survival. Because you might have like 6 other girls, like they have to know that for their own good, right? It's not like something bad. Like they need to know if a man has 6 other girls, right? They can't be just clueless, like, oh, having fun, and then the guy leaves them for number 3, right? You know, and then they're like single for the rest of their life, right? That in traditional society, that's like Japanese girls would kill themselves. You know, they would jump off a cliff, you know, if they lost because they would be like an old maid. So part of the rules that we live by are things that were old, right? So keep in mind, you don't change as fast as software does. You know, your brain doesn't. Women don't either. Right? So we kind of do have some of this, a lot of remnants of stuff, right? So what does a woman get out of it? What she gets is everything she wants, okay? She gets to know you really well. She knows your weaknesses. She knows how tough you are. It's like a huge, in a sense, the reason why women shit test men is to find out, for a very good reason. They have every right to. They need to know if you're full of shit. Are you really what you say you are? You know? Or are you exaggerating? What are you hiding? What are your weaknesses? Women need to know, if there's 2 men, they need to know which one's better. That's their job. We look at them and we say, which one could make a better baby? Which one would I want to drill it into more? And we can make healthy kids, you know, in longer term. They would like keep that thing going, the relationship going, right? You know what I mean? Like, what kind of personality could I live with? There's other things too, right? What is it like to sleep with her? Does she stay up all night? Is that going to keep me up so I can't work? Like, we're thinking about stuff too, right? But woman wants to know everything about you. She finds out in pandemic. A woman wants to get married quickly, usually, if you're the guy, right? So first she finds out, then she's like, this is the guy, and they see you as an opportunity. Women go to AA sometimes just because they know there's a lot of good guys who are at their low point. I've had girls tell me that in AA, I came to just because get guys on a discount. Because you meet a really quality guy, like he might be, you know, the president of Ibisco or something, but for that moment, his wife left him, his kids left him. He still makes a, $2 million salary and everything, but he's like at a low point in his life. It's a perfect time for a girl to come in, right, and make friends with him, and then be his next wife, right? So, guys on discount are in AA, right? And so they're always like looking for these opportunities, right, for a better guy than they would usually get. Just like we're looking for opportunities to meet a hot girl. Right? If we meet him you might meet him walking down the street or in the laundromat or whatever, you don't care, right? It's like wherever you're going to meet him, like a better girl, you're just going to go for it, right? We're not worried like, oh, did you meet her at a tennis court or a dance? We don't give a fuck. It's like better girl, hotter girl, better personality, better fit, boom, She could be anywhere. She could be like making noodles or taking care of pigs or, whatever the hell it could be. Like, we don't care, like no clothes, like she wearing a sack or whatever. It's like better girl, boom, we go right in there, right? So they are also doing the same thing, and they're getting everything they want out of the pandemic. Things move along faster. They know the guy, and of course, everything moves along faster. You're in tight proximity, right? So it's like, when are we going to do this? Let's just do it. Let's get a couch. Let's get a house. Let's do it. Let's get a house. Yeah. And then you're fucking every day, right? In the pandemic, you're alone. And you're like, why don't we just have a kid? Like, we've talked about it for years, like it's a perfect, you're starting to think like, you're like that guy on the planet. You're like, this is awesome. Like, this is going to work out forever. I'm just going to have a kid with this woman. Why not? I was always against it, but fuck, I'm going to do it, right? We're going to have 6 kids, whatever, And so you kind of like start thinking pandemic's going to last forever, but it won't. And with most women, I would have to say, they're probably going to go the exact opposite. Just like most people on that planet. They're not going to go back to that same thing that they had. China had the Cultural Revolution, and this is a similar type thing. Everything was taken away, and there was a lot of negatives. There was famines and stuff, but there was also good sides too. And a lot of people were nostalgic for the Cultural Revolution. Girls were just simple, no makeup, braids. You guys are tilling the field, the cows and stuff. But here's the interesting thing, is there's like 1.6 billion Chinese. A lot of people were nostalgic for the Cultural Revolution time. At the same time as most people hate it, because there was a lot of bad things too, terrible things. But the good side is this pandemic relationship turbo thing was going on. But nobody moves to the countryside and raises pigs. Nobody. Out of 1.6 billion, a grand total of 0% do that. So it's not, being nostalgic and doing it are different for a girl. So she might always think back to the pandemic and say, that was the best time. Like, I was with that guy, it was fucking awesome, it was so good. But they never think for a moment that I'm going to do this when times are good. Like, I'm in a pandemic with some guy. I'm going to lock down. It's more like, hey, that was fun. That was awesome. That was so cool. I'm glad I did that, and then move on. And then now it's about, whatever it is that she wants to do, right? She wants to improve her job. She wants to meet new people. She wants to learn to play the piano. She wants to learn yoga. She wants to travel. She wants to be with people that know different things than you. So maybe you know a lot about car racing or something. She wants to know, like, somebody who knows about, I don't know, maybe she wants somebody who's like anything, like a well-known doctor who's an author and well-known, and he's on TV sometimes, and she wants to kind of see that, and she wants to kind of, it's kind of like they try different guys, like a lot of smart women do that. Dumb women don't, but the smarter the girl is, the more she realizes she's got a lot of options. And so that's the other thing. If what you think you want in a woman is often a dumb woman, if you think about it. Because if you're a smart woman, you're not going to fall into these traps. You're going to you'll go here and then you'll go there and you'll make the best decision, but you'll also try a lot of stuff, right? You're not going to just sit around baking cookies for some guy who's like an average dude and pretending like you're in lockdown for the rest of your life, right? Like, would you do that? Probably not if you're a girl. You'd probably be like, I want to get that fucking yellow dress and I want to go over to stand over there on this waterfall and with my friends. That would be really fun. And then we want to go to this music festival. We want to go, whatever it is. So just beware. Once you kind of hear this will give you, it's not a step-by-step what to do. It's just now the whole situation, and you can make the right decision for your situation, and also put things in perspective. If you are doing something, you'll know how long it's going to last, what are the pluses and minuses, and just that it's temporary. I think one of the best mindsets a guy can have is to realize that everything is temporary. It's just to know that things are temporary. And like with women, it's temporary. Love is temporary. Laughter is temporary. Lockdowns are temporary. Age is temporary. It's like everything's temporary, and just to enjoy the time with the girl. And like I said before, like really that's what girls really want. They really want a guy that they enjoy being with. There's other parts of them. They want money and they want this. But there's a very, very deep part in a woman. I'm telling you, if you're not this kind of guy, you won't know this. But the more you become this kind of guy, you'll realize it's true. Women do want to have fun. So a lot of people complaining about women, it's because they're the lockdown guy. They've chosen to be the guy on the planet, and then everybody's leaving them, right? Whereas when you're fun and you realize things are temporary, there is a point where you're not really, like, the girl goes and you're like, that's cool, that was good, I'm glad we did that. But you're also open for new things. You're not trying to hold her. You're not trying to lock her down, because women are experts at feeling this. They know when you're that guy on the planet. They know, and they don't like it. They want a guy who's going to be fun after lockdown. You know what I mean? Like he's gonna, and that goes to the core of who you are. And that's why I say I prefer to be the guy for fun. I can do the other one, but I really prefer. I think that it is a more human choice, is to enjoy your life. A lot of guys don't realize this. Is to enjoy the moment, enjoy your life. And that is the guy that people want to have fun with, right? It's not like you're getting drunk. No, it's like you're just in the moment. You're always up for stuff. You're not burdened down by a lot of anger. You don't have a lot of issues. You've worked on yourself. You know, you don't have a lot of hidden, like you're not like a jack-in-the-box dude where the girl's like, she thinks you're a certain kind of guy, and then all of a sudden, bam, pops up, It's like, it's like, oh my God, jack-in-the-box man. Don't be like, where like you're her friend for like 5 years, and then all of a sudden you try to fuck her, she's like, bam, jack-in-the-box man. And she's like, dude, what are you doing? Like, it's like, I thought we were friends. And he's like, you're always, he's like, he's got so much in his mind. Like, don't be jack-in-the-box man. Like, not with yourself either, because it doesn't work anyway. Jack-in-the-box hiding and just doesn't work. Work on your stuff. Work on your, just have fun. Be the guy that people come to when they want to have fun. You can do the other one, but it's more of a social service. It's more of a human service that you do for your friends. And that they know you're there for them. But at the same time, don't enjoy it too much. Like, don't enjoy it too much. That's my advice. Don't enjoy it too much. Just do it like a surgery or something that needs to be done. And then don't ask for too many thanks. Don't expect any thanks. Just do it because it needs to be done. And that's it. Get out. And then figure out a way to have fun. And then you did your job. If that person keeps going into those deep depressions and stuff, then there's a point where you can't even, you do it if you wanted to anyway. You can't help them, right? So, and by working on your issues, because life is fun. Life is fucking fun. Like, it is fucking fun. If it's not fun, then you're doing something wrong. Like, you're not seeing life, right? And then if you're fun, you just naturally become that person that people are like, they want to go to do stuff or whatever, So anyway, hope that's been good. Let's see. Any like key questions or like comments or whatever?
I don't know.
Two guys here.
My thoughts are, when you're actually like kind of...
You're the fun guy, by the way.
Yeah, I am the fun guy.
Chime Time is the fun guy. Yeah.
And what I've experienced, right, is that I'm like an alpha kind of guy, partying, I'm interesting. This girl that I'm with, Carly, we're in an open relationship, and she knows that I was interesting before. And during quarantine time, she's come to my place, I've gone to her place. We've done the quarantining together, and then she's pretty confident, and I mean, even me going on this tour, she knows that I'm going to go back to what I was before, and I'm not like just stuck in quarantine mode. I'm not going to stay on the planet when the plane's leaving. I'm probably going to be the one being like, all right, let's get on the plane, guys.
Sure.
So like, yeah, it's important to just totally not stick yourself on the planet, get stuck in that mentality. Like, it's cool, but don't get addicted to anything. And it's not just with the quarantine, it's anything in life.
Oh yeah. It could be investments, It could be a focus on a job, it could be a focus on whatever. Even a kid, like if you have a kid, at the end, the kid is like, he goes off on the planet. He gets off the planet. Your family. And that is one of the key things, is a healthy parent is able to know that his job is raising the kid to leave him. He's not raising the kid. Like a very unhealthy, emotionally manipulative, abusive parent will try to keep the kid in the house because they want to own the kid, They want the kid to always need them. A healthy parent is raising the kid to go off the planet. And that's like the most painful thing for the parent, but that's the job. That's the fucking job of the parent, is to give him everything he needs to go off and leave you forever, kind of, you know? It's so sad, but that is your job as a parent. It's a job that ends in tragedy, always, you know? And then you might see them once in a while, but that time's gone. You know, they can never make it happen again. It was meant to be at the moment. I guess having kids kind of like lockdown, you know? And then it's like the beautiful time. They're like 2 years old, 3 years old. They're doing all these cute things and stuff. And then they get older and they have a real life, right? And that's that ability to go in there and not be that person who's secretly trying to tie them down, who's like really trying to. You want a healthy person wants their friends, wants their kids to be better and to leave them. That's what they want. They want them to like grow beyond them. And a good teacher's like that too. Every time you teach physics, you're teaching them one level and you're hoping. This is a very healthy way to look at it. You're hoping that one day you meet them and they're way better than you. That's what your goal is. Your goal is not like, I did it. See, I did it. See, I see. It's like, no. Go and be free. Here's the skills you need right now. Try this, learn this, move this. Okay, you have it now. And it's like the unhealthy teachers also will try to control the students. So be that teacher that's giving them everything they need to be better than you. To be better than you. You want everybody. I want everybody on the channel to be better than me. I want people to get the concepts better than me. Like I want you to take these concepts and then when I come meet you, you're like, I did it. I lost 60 pounds. I did that. I'm fucking doing this. And I meet this a lot on the channel. It always blows my mind that over the internet, you could have this effect. But it's always like, it makes me feel really, it's sad in a way, but it makes me feel great because I'm like, that's what my job was. My job was to get them in that, you know, get them to now that doesn't mean that you don't meet them or anything, but it's like spiritually it does in a way. It's like you really are giving without expecting. You're giving the tools for them to kick your ass and be good, you know. And that's really where it's about. And the more you give, the funny thing is the more you get. That's the thing. Is the more you take this attitude with women, children, your friends, your job, whatever, coincidentally, you end up with more. Because everybody knows you're not trying to stop them. You're actually trying to help them. So if they misunderstand something, they're like, yeah, but this guy, I know he's trying to, like, what am I doing? You know, they're like, they're not thinking like, because most people are like total fucking control 3 inches. Like they're trying to like help but not help. You know, like they're always trying to like, was that okay? They give you advice and they're like, did that work? You know, did what I say, was it so important? You know, it's like, no, man, they go like, it's like when you get off the planet, like you might never call them again. You enjoyed that moment. You enjoyed that time and you might go do something else too. But it's that it really is like a key. This is a big fucking topic, actually. This is a very deep thing. When it comes to children, you can really see it. You know, be the one whose children are better than them. You know, give them all they need, the nutrients, the mind stuff, the confidence that you never had, right? You know, so that they're better. You know, that's really, that mindset is hard. It's hard to focus that. But I spent my life trying to do that. That's the line I want to walk always, with everything, with my brother, with my friends, my little brother, right? He's doing better than me, you know, and I love the fact he's doing better, you know. It's really great. But I also have to have a discipline about it because there is always a part of a human that doesn't want that. And you have to say, no, this is more important. It's more important, you know. Focus on helping, focus on building, focus on them. Don't focus on where you are in hierarchy, where you are in comparison. Like just keep building and building and building. And in the end, you become something more like a bigger person, you know.
So what, like on this topic, the way that it hits me and the way that, you know, because I always think about the subconscious. When you quarantine yourself, you're sticking yourself in quarantine, you're stunting your own growth, whatever. But if you are controlling and putting others in quarantine, you are superimposing or projecting the stunting of growth on others. And it's a really weird time to be discussing this. Well, it's really relevant, but like a lot of people want to get out of quarantine and a lot of people want to stay in quarantine, and they don't understand that the self-damage that they're causing themselves and the self-damage that they're causing others. And yeah, there are reasons that make quarantine appropriate, but then there are other reasons that just totally make it inappropriate. And it's important to keep track of the pros and cons, like leave, get on that plane and get out of there, get off the planet when it's ready. Don't force people to stay on that planet when the plane's ready. Like it's kind of weird,
right? And for me, I just thought of something. Also for myself, when I'm the student and somebody hands me a gem and I know it's going to take me off the planet, a teacher, sometimes I will hold myself back to stay with the teacher to try to thank him, right? But the best way to thank a real teacher is to get off the planet. Because a real teacher understands that his job is to make you better than him. And so don't stay around that teacher to overthink. I've seen this with martial arts guys in Japan, where they just stick with the teacher. Like they've already got what they need. Now it's time to go to MMA. It's time to go to writing poetry, whatever the fuck it is. It's like there's a next level they should be going to, but they stick themselves to keep thinking and thinking and thinking. The best way to think is to use the advice. Like I gave you some advice about dribbling and changing hands. You might not do it. You might do it. The best way to think, you don't even have to even say anything. You just go on your life, you take those little gems, and you actually focus and do them. And then later you'll be like, wow, that was really good. And then it's like, I wonder who that guy was. I wonder if I could talk to that guy and thank him, Because a lot of things are like that. Your neighbor helps you out. You might not even know his name when you're a kid, And then later on you can't really thank him, but he gave you something, right? And that's his job, is a good teacher. That's what a good teacher does. He's always ready, Always ready to learn, always ready for you to leave, and he's also ready to learn and become better himself. And that's how he became a great teacher, is by doing the same thing, So it's like everybody's taken off, and I think that's it. Too much talking, that's it. The idea's done. Perfect. Thanks for listening.